A bit of a bounce here on the ES. I'm looking at those lows down there at 41, 41.75, 41.74 has room down to like 41.68. So I might try to scalp that at any point in time if we do lose that today. Kind of see what that wants to do. I'm going to set this account up for the ES trades.
Are we looking on the video?
Bad, dude.
Really?
It's back up at 409, 50s. A little bit of a bounce here. You got the market bouncing.
I cut losses here.
Not quite. If it does continue to bounce, it's going to 412. So we were there before. You're going to be down about the same you were down when you were down at the most. That rejection spot's falling down a little bit, but we would need more time. You need like, I don't know. It's fucking bouncing pretty hard. It's 410.50. So 412.50s is the rejection spot. Hasn't tested the 20 SMA yet. It looks like that's what it wants to at least gravitate towards to try. That's why I'm saying if we can just get it to kind of fucking stay down here, let this 20 SMA drop $1, test it, and then get rejected, and then come down through 406.75.
I might cut my losses here. I'm back down to 5. It's a lot now. It's bouncing really.
Yeah, it's gonna fuck. It's gonna gravitate into this 412s.
Yeah.
So the only thing, man, is like if 3 hours later this thing's trading at 403, you're gonna be fucking pissed. But again, it doesn't have to get down there. That's the thing.
I'm gonna cut losses now. Fuck.
Well,
Yeah, that's a $600 loss. God damn it.
Yeah, bailed on the Qs.
Fuck, that's the thing with like Nvidia and Tesla, man. The bounces are gonna be like $2-3 at a time. So like it's right at that 20 and it's getting rejected. So you know, I mean, but that's just too much. It's too much risk to put on to just leave it. But I mean, based on the charts, you know, it's like 412.50s. It has to get over 412.50s, and then it can gravitate towards 415. And even at that, I mean, this thing could still be down 400 tomorrow. So the line in the sand now is 406.75, 406.75 to 403, 402. Looks like the futures hourly charts reclaimed the 25 and 10-day moving average here on a 1-hour chart. On the 5-minute, NQ's confirming a little bit of a 20 play here.
Order filled.
Oh shit, I took ES, damn it.
Order filled.
Oh shit, I gotta get out of this.
Yeah, the ES just cleared the Bollinger, or not Bollinger, the regression on 5-minute.
Yeah, keep that up for me. I don't even have the chart up. I'm trying to figure this out. Yeah, because I was gonna play 4 micro MES and I'm in 4 ES.
Yeah, and ES, the candle went through the 20, the 100.
Oh shit, I'm out of that. Oh, that was a mistake that made $300.
I was gonna say, why'd you get out?
Yeah, that wasn't. Yeah, I was trying to do 4 MES, and then I was like looking at the NQ chart. So I was like, oh, let me take this 20 play on the MNQ, and then I clicked the damn fucking buy, and I was still on the damn ESs, and I didn't realize I had 4 of them on ES. Yeah, I know I should have stayed in that, but hey, there it is. Yeah, here we go. So the MNQ is in a little bit of an active 20 play here. So what is this?
Order filled.
I got a couple of accounts in on this 20 play on the NQ. Now the move is down, right? The day's move is down. We got a long ways to go before we can say that, you know, this is going to be a full dead cat bounce day. I'm playing one account that I'm looking to scalp a little bit here, so it's a little bit heavier on size, and then I've got another account that's I'm going to try to hold all the way until my reason why candle stop loss, which is way down there, but it's such small size to where, you know, if I take the loss on it, it's not going to be that big of a deal. Just kind of let that ride. I want to be able to stay in these futures trades a little bit longer. Unless I'm at a point where it's at an area of supply or a spot that I feel comfortable stopping and like really resetting where I can, take a little break from taking trades and just kind of watch.
Order filled. Order filled.
Again, all in all, I'm still a little hesitant on taking the dead cat bounces to the long side. They're just a lot more choppy. They're a lot more slower moving, and they tend to just stop wherever, right? It's not like, if we were oversupply and the market hasn't been pulling back and, we're over 50-day moving average, play like this, I'd have no problem and confidence, trying to hold this to like 460 on the NQ, 450, right? Kind of take, a good chunk of change off this thing. But the fact that, when you're under supply and you're just dead cat bouncing, it's almost just like reload sellers just coming back in to like take that liquidity to run it back down. So they're a little bit more tricky, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it seems like if you're going to head back into the spaghetti, it might be better for a scalp.
Mm-hmm. We got a new hour candle in 3 minutes, so if the futures can take out, what is this, 385, this hour candle's highs, and maybe we got some room to kind of push up a little bit here. Again, just thinking scalps here on the way up. Don't want to get too overconfident here holding these longs. I mean, one candle wipe you out 40, 50 points,
Order filled. Order filled.
Mm. just kind of a reference here on that small account where I'm looking to play my true stop loss where technical damage is done, so I have to get out of this long. I'm down 120 on 2 contracts, so that's kind of a reference point that you guys can kind of look at. On these type of pullbacks, that's more or less what you're down on this type of a move. So again, I mean, if this goes all the way down and stops me out, I might be down closer to 200. We got a flat 200 SMA. We got the 20 SMA literally sitting right on top of it. So this is a kind of a good spot on your 5-minute where you got some support and resistance right in the same spot. So if you can get a move off of these moving averages, it tends to be a decent size move. So as of right now, as long as we stay above it and let it build as support, let this 20 kind of flatten out. And if we can start to take out these recent highs that we had 10 minutes ago on this little bounce, maybe we can get a little bit of an upside. But now if it gives it up, I would say that we come back down to the bottom of that range, and then you can kind of play that into the bottom of the range and then hold a runner to see if we do break low of day and this thing just wants to continue to sink another fucking 2% like it did yesterday, right? So I mean, yesterday was a bad day, like for bulls, If you were in on the shorts, you made plenty of money. But I mean, for guys who, you got to think about these investors who hold stocks and maybe swing traders who are buying. I mean, that was a bad day. Like they didn't get any sort of uptick. That was horrible. Yeah, this is gonna go for me. It's gonna stop me out. I got about 2 minutes on this candle close, so at this point I'm down 203, 192. I've for technical reasons, we've broken below the 20. We're coming down into that reason why candle stop. I've got to let it play out at this point with 2 minutes and a minute and a half left on this 5-minute candle. Whether it drops, stays the same, I've got to let it go to where it stops you out. For sure. Too many times before I've seen it do this, and then I'm not saying this one's going to happen, but I've seen it get down here, get back over, put in a wick down there, you stop out, and then 20 minutes later, this thing is putting in a new high. So that's where risk comes into play, right? You have to trust your strategy. You have to trust the risk that you have on the table, and you got to be okay with it. If you're not okay with it, with the risk that you have on the table, you're mentally never going to allow yourself to hold these trades into full stop out or the trade working to your favor in maturity. But it doesn't look like this one's going to pan out for me.
I've got some Boeing paper trade
How's it? Are you short on
Calls
it?
over the
Calls.
no over the high of the first half hour.
How are they doing?
It's going.
Yeah, there you go. That thing's been beaten up lately. That's a nasty little trade there.
Order filled. Order filled.
Yeah, nasty little trade on that. Took about a 242 loss on that.
Order filled.
Yeah, you see on damn. See, this is what I'm talking about. On that Nvidia, it's right back down there at that 408, 407 again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
See
but you
that?
could have been a good hold, but you also never know if maybe a new hour candle can have you high.
Yeah.
It'll wreck you even more.
That's what I'm saying though. If this thing, like if Nvidia, if fuck, like that from those lows 406 all the way to 412, that's a 6 to 7 point bounce against you, right? So it's like, can you really stomach 6 to 7 points? I mean, you would have to be playing like one contract that's out of the money that doesn't really cost a whole lot to like, I'm not really too concerned about it, right? So if you're getting down in there, barely starting a position down in that spot. But like for technicals, because the stock doesn't know how much size we put on, right? Like they don't fucking know. Like how the fuck do they know you got 100 contracts on the line or you got one contract on the line? So technicals, that coming into that 20 SMA, did it close over? Did it, did it confirm? No, and then pulled right back down. Now again, those contracts that Penguin was in, they weren't going to be profitable, but I mean, it wouldn't have been as big of a drop. But that 406.75 is definitely still on the table if it does lose that. Hourly chart looks shot as well, so
Yeah, my only concern was like I didn't see any like you said, no technical view of it getting rejected like that. I thought if anything it would go to 405 and then get
yeah.
rejected off of that.
Well, that was about a 15-point move off the NQ
Mm-hmm.
20 low.
Mm-hmm.
Order filled. Order filled.
I seen Sammy passed his accounts today, his evals.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah, that's pretty good, man. Now he's just got to stay patient. He's got to trade him nice and slow. Build up a little cushion. Build up some confidence.
I'll have to see where my accounts are at, like by, was it next Thursday or Wednesday the 3rd?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's when they're due to renew
Gotcha.
at the 80%, you know, whatever that is, 33,
Yeah.
34 bucks.
$33, yeah.
I just scrap them and just sign up for more of the 90%ers.
Yeah, see where you're at, right? See where you're at. I mean, unless you have some fucking great days in there where you really go up, you know, kind of see where they're at. If they're not up that much, then yeah, if it's better, you know, if they put you in a bit better spot to just reload them.
Yeah, if I'm only up, you know, $500-600. Should I just bail on that and start over?
Order filled.
If you it depends, man. Yeah, let's see where you're at next week. You know, if you're up like, if you're pretty close to passing, nah, just keep them. But I mean, if you're still like a couple grand away, then yeah, I mean, you're better.
Yeah, if I just do the, you know, $100 or so a day, I'm only going to be at like, you know, $500-600 up.
Yeah. I would say like, see how you are like on between tomorrow and Monday, and then by Tuesday I would honestly just play 2 or 3 mini contracts and just let them ride. Like when you get into your play, just let them ride. You know, you might go up at 500, $1,000, because at that point it's you're gonna scrap them anyways, right? Like if you're like, so see if you can pass it in a couple days or not. Just
Yeah, if you look at the calendar, yeah, next Friday is when they renew. So
okay, yeah. So like Monday, Tuesday, I'd tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday, I'd play it regular, and then going into Wednesday, if you're still way off, then yeah, just load up the minis on there and take your trades and then see how they pan out and just let them either go to stop loss or whatever.
Go little balls out, baby.
Oh yeah.
I guess I gotta log off now. Shit.
All right, bro.
Fucking the video. Down bad, but we'll be back.
Yeah, we always back.
I've been down 50% on my account before and gotten up.
Yeah, just take
We'll be-
one play to take you down, one play to put you right back in. So
No, literally, it'd be like that. I
yeah.
think tomorrow will be a better day, though.
Yeah. All right, man.
All right, GG.
Yeah, that sucks. He was just in way too late on that Nvidia. I mean,
Yeah.
the play was there at 410, right? So 410. I got in late too as well because it started dropping. So I got in like 409 in a quarter or something. But I mean, when I asked him if he was in, he said yeah, but then he was in like way down at like 407. I'm like, oh shit, you're $3 away from the actual move. So any bounce, you're gonna feel it. That's the thing. Like, and he said that he's seen the 410 too, and he was gonna get in when it was at 409s, but then he like just hesitated. So like, if it's your setup and you can't hesitate, this last 20 play on the damn NQ went from 312 to fucking 272. You can't hesitate. You have to just take it. Because I'd rather jump out of the first floor than jump out of the 10th, It's like that's what he was doing. He jumped out of the 10th floor on that. It's like that's why like that little bounce that we had into 412s, like for me, I was like, I'm okay holding this, but I'm also in closer to 410. I'm not down 5 points on it. So it's different, it's a different mindset mentality. Because for me, that bounce into NVIDIA's 20 SMA was a normal bounce. I see that happen to me all the time, so I don't have no problem. But like when you're looking at the chart and you're all the way down at the bottom and this thing's just bouncing and bouncing and bouncing for 15 minutes, 20 minutes against you, that's a tough hold mentally because you're down so much money being down at the bottom. I don't even know what it's trading at right now, but like I don't know if he would have actually broken even or what, but so it looks like the NASDAQ came right back into this 14,267 area, which is like almost a day's lows here. We got a Bollinger Band on the hourly chart sitting at 250. You got some overnight session lows here at 257. So this is a tricky spot here for guys who are looking to short. This is a tricky spot because you got a lot of support in here. So it can come down, wick you in, wick you out, and look like it's going lower and then snap back 20, 30 points and then come back down later. I'm trying to see how I would like to play this myself here. I mean, I might.
Yeah, I was looking at that too.
Yeah, so I might do, because I took a little bit of a scalp here on this 20 play, took a little bit of size to get back the loss. So now I'm actually off the 20 play that I lost on. The 20 play that I lost on, I was down about 230, 240 on that. So on the short play here that set up right away, I just went ahead again. I don't recommend this, but I went double my size from the loss and took the profits here to get the loss back. And now I'll just barely break even. I mean, I'm up $55 on one account and $96 on another account. So, so now any trade that I take that is a winner is definitely going to put me in the green, but a loser puts me right back to where I started. So I'm debating if I want to take the first move here through 265 or let it break, let a 5-minute candle close below or at least wick below this 265 and then wait for another candle to kind of confirm that we're actually going to break down these lows.
That's what I was
You know?
leaning towards, but
Yeah.
what do I know? Confirmation.
Yeah, to me, yeah, that would probably be better. That would probably be better. It's yeah, I mean, from from a strategy standpoint, that's better, right? Like if we have these lows, let's break them. Let's show that the sellers can break through this, put in a new low or close below, and then get a confirmation candle below that below that new low. It's just my luck. This thing will break and go down 40 points in one shot, you know?
Yeah, it'd be a 40-point candle and you missed everything.
I know. I might try to do this reversal here too as well on this last 5-minute candle that's set up, so we'll see. Because after yesterday, man, after watching that price action yesterday, I was like, man, everything is just, you can't catch it. I mean, it's just nothing's holding for too long, and then every new breakdown candle's going down 20-25 points. I mean, we're already down again another 200, huh? What do you think about that? Fucking market is fucking shocked. This market is fucking shocked. Technically, the NASDAQ entered into a bear market again yesterday. Down 20% off the highs.
Oh,
And that's what happens, Street But these guys can't get their fucking shit together, you know? Interest rates fucking through the roof. Fucking yields spiking like crazy. The dollar's up. Oil's still holding up. You know? You got everything going on in another part of the world. So it's those yields is what's sucking all of the money out of here. I mean, they're doing 4.5, almost 5% on those 2 years. So imagine if you're a big player, right? Like we're not big players over here. We're fucking normal dudes. But I mean, if you're a big guy and you're like, if I can draw 4.5, 5% on my money for the next couple of years, that's guaranteed. The S&P 500, I was looking at it. The S&P 500 hasn't returned a gain since 2021. Now, obviously, if you're trading, sure, like you're able to make some money here, make some money there. But as far as like if you've just been in the market since 2021, like and you're loading up, it has not returned a percentage point. So you got to think about it. 2 years, you haven't made a gain, and what you're saying now is that I can draw 5% guaranteed. I mean, that's why the money is outflowing from some of these high value stocks, and that's why tech is getting hit so fucking bad. You know, all these things are like they screamed way too high off of the COVID, all of that bullshit. They screamed way too high, and yeah, we pulled back, and you've seen, like I was telling, like even Biggs, you know, he had a lot of those shit stocks. I mean, shit companies that were running in COVID. I mean, those stocks are never coming back, right? Like, I mean, you imagine those guys who were in like Lucid and those guys who were trading like fucking Fubo TV and all this other bullshit, you know, all that stuff. I mean, those Peloton, I mean, fucking Peloton was like 170 something bucks. I think it's like $10 right now.
Order filled.
You know? So a lot of that stuff's not coming back. But I mean, as far as these big boys, these big daddies here,
Order filled.
you know, they will always be back. They will always come back. But the thing is, like, you gotta trade them, like your investors, because this market, you know, it's not built around us traders. Obviously, it's built on the big money and in these big funds. And you know, like those guys, I mean, they haven't really returned any type of investment here the last 2 years. It'd be smart to take a good percentage of your capital, not a lot, but I mean, even 20% out of their capital. Let's say, you know, these big guys, they take out 20%, 15% of their money out of these markets. They start selling off on some of these tech stocks to put into these 2-year yields and shit like that. And, you know, that's causing these prices to go down, right? That and a lot of uncertainty of what the hell else is going on. with everything else. I mean, that's my opinion. These guys, they just can't get their shit together, which doesn't really matter for us as traders because we can make money up or down. It just makes it a little bit of a sticky time. Like, you know, one week we're up, one day we're fucking red. It's like it's just a lot of back and forth, back and forth. I can't wait for the day that we just get back to trending again. I mean, because we've always been in I mean, I've only been trading for 8.5 years, right? So, I mean, my whole fucking trading career is a bull market. You know, it's very easy to trade a bull market. You know, you're oversupply, you pull back into support, you buy the dips, you reload and you start new positions over a previous day high. You have a few days of selling, no big deal. As soon as we get down there to whatever support, it's easy. But the last 2 years of the market hasn't been easy. The first 5 months of this year was pretty easy. I mean, everything from January to like, I don't know, May, June was pretty much going straight up. So it was real easy, like just, you know, to find these plays. But
I was just looking at the 1 hour for the year.
Mm-hmm.
Freaking January is at 11,000. Now it's at 14,000.
Yeah. So like from January,
it was up to 16,000.
Yeah. So how what was it in June? In June, July?
July, the high was 16,062.
Exactly. So like that market, oh my God. I mean, I was just killing it. I mean, it was killing it, you know? I mean, I'm still making money, but it's like it's harder, right? It's harder. And that's what a lot of people don't get it. It's harder. So if you're jumping in now, you're jumping in the last month or two, I mean, you're in a shitstorm right now. Like this is not an easy market to trade at all, right? You know, last week or two we've been going down, but I mean, again, you get these bounces like crazy that stop you out of your position and you're losing money when you don't have to. Here's that confirmation of that double low again. Hourly chart's coming down in here to 14,251, which is this hourly Bollinger Band. Even on the confirmation of the wick low below 265 went down from 58 to 51, so 7 points. If we would have taken the first entry here, you would have got in, sat through a little bit of pullback, and then it went from 265 to 251. So
Order filled.
Yeah, it still hasn't closed below yet.
Let's get in a little bit of that bounce here.
Order filled.
You know, looking back at this hourly back to like June, seems to be a bit of a level right here at 250, 260.
Is it a support level?
Yeah.
Huh.
But what do I know? You're better at that stuff than I am.
I'll pull it up right here in a sec.
Order filled. Order filled. Order filled. Order filled. Order filled. Order filled. Order filled.
Yeah, bulls can't really catch a bait at all.
Order filled.
It's thinking about bouncing here, but not real hard.
Mm-hmm. Oh, every little bounce just gets fucking shot. they shoot it down real quick.
Order filled. Order filled.
That stupid end phase went up about $2 after breaking the first half hour low, or high, I should say.
Oh, really?
Order submitted. Order filled.
Dude, did you get that your NVIDIA 20 play?
What was that?
Did you get your favorite there, NVIDIA 20 play?
No, I didn't even get that. I'm still watching these damn futures. What the hell did we do on that?
Oh man,
Beautiful.
took a little bit of heat, maybe a buck or so, but then it's down 410 down to 403.
Oh my God. That was the level that I was telling what's his name, man, the 403. Yeah, I didn't take any new. I didn't. Jeez, that sucks. I didn't take any new size. I've been holding the two runners ever since. Oh, that sucks for that guy. That's what I'm saying. You gotta just play the charts.
Yeah, I could have got
Right.
whacked going up and then made it back coming down.
Right? I mean, yeah, you
I don't
got.
blame him for getting out, but you know, you could have
No.
taken the.
But see, so this is what I always go back and forth with, right? This is why, like I'll say like the position sizing is everything. Size too big, right? Size too big, because I mean I get it. The move's going against you 5 points, right? The move's going against you 5 points. But what I'm saying is that the 403. What I'm saying is that if you weren't playing that such a big size, right, for your account, the same thing goes for futures, right? I mean, we only got these 2,000, 3,000, whatever drawdowns a day or whatever. If you are in a move and technically it's not broken, then why would you get out, right? Well, because I'm down too much. But like that's not the stock's fault, right? That's not the Nasdaq's fault. It's not Nvidia's fault. It's not the market's fault. It's your fault for having too much size. So like those plays work great. Like if he would have got in at 40 when he got in 408, 407 and it went down to 403 right away, it's great. You look like a hero. But when you don't and you have to sit through that again, I get it. Like you 408 and you sat through it through 411 and then you got out. But like you literally, that's why I can't tell anyone what to do, but it's like, I'm like, you got this supply here, like that you're running into, and then it goes down. Because like right now, I like to like mentally play things back in my head. So I'm going to look at NVIDIA's 5-minute chart. This has been an active short since 6:45 in the morning. So since 6:45 in the morning, when it confirmed at 6:50, it was just a short. Now it came right back to where you should have got in the first time. So like, that's why for me, when I got in, I sold a little bit. I sold like 70%, right? I only had 3 contracts left. So on that pullback, when he's feeling pain, when you're sweating, I don't really care because I'm already profitable, right? So like making sure you're in at the right entry is one thing. And the second thing is making sure that you are sized properly to withstand that. Because if it does go against you, can you withstand that pullback? Because it's just been an active short. Like there has been nothing going on. It's just an active short. The bounces, I mean, yeah, it's 3, 4, 5 points, but that's not the chart's fault. Like if you can't stomach that, which a lot of people can't, don't get me wrong. Like who can really stomach that? But the chart's not telling you to get out yet. You know, it's not telling you nothing yet to get out. So I don't know. That's a tough hit. That's a tough hit. Right? I mean, because what would you say, 3 put? I mean, like just look at NVIDIA's 5-minute chart and just take into your own analysis into that. Like where did the short position start for you? Like where should you have got in on that short position, you know, to begin with? And where was the pullback and what was the new rejection spot?
Oh, sorry, I had myself muted.
Oh.
Well, the original 20 was about at 413,
Mm-hmm.
and then he took some heat as it ran up to like 414,
Mm-hmm.
and then a lot of wicks, but nothing closed above the 5. So when it closed above the 5, say about 410.20,
Mm-hmm.
that's probably when I would have bailed. So you're getting almost $2.
Yeah.
Or almost $3, I should say.
Yeah, you're getting almost $3 from the 413s, right? To the 410s. And then it came right back to 413, got rejected, and then flushed. So what makes that trade stress-free is that when you take the original 20, you get in, and then let's say you have a runner, even if it's just one contract left, you already made money. So just sit through it. You don't even have to look at the chart anymore. Just fucking check it in an hour, see if you're still making money. And then it goes all the way back down to your target, right? So if you miss that, you're in a tough spot if you miss it. So for me, right, I didn't get in on the original 20. I took the break of the first hour lows. So the first hour lows for me are 410.15. So I did sit through on my runners $2.50, almost $3 worth of drawdown at one point in time when it was back into the 412s. But again, I already made money on it. Like I had already made money on it when it dropped originally to 407, 406. I sold. So it's a lot easier of a play, but like when you're jumping in down at 4, like I see where he took it at. It's the pre-market lows, 407.94. So you missed the first short, 413. You missed the second one, 410, which he said he was on, just wanted to see it get below pre-market. So then you jump to 407, right? 407 and change. And then it bounces to you all the way to 425. Now that mentally you're like, fuck, I thought I had the perfect entry and now it looks like it's the worst entry. But all it did was come right back up into that 20, test it, and then boom. We already knew the level was 404, 403. Like that's what I was saying. Like that's the level. Like that's your big level, because if you go to like the daily chart, that 403 was tested all the way back in August, right? And then we had those lows in September. And then now here we are, right? This thing is a short position. This thing's coming down, watch. Bet me. This thing's going to be at fucking 360. This thing's coming down to 360 before this is all said and done. Now
I'm looking at, so if I'm him and I get in at 407.
Yeah, so look at that. Like on a 5-minute view, look at where he got in at. Through pre-market
I probably would have done the same bail at close above the 5. 410 again.
Yeah, 410 again. So that's the thing. But I mean, if you had one contract, right? If you had one, I mean, I don't know, still, I mean,
even then those Nvidias are pretty expensive at 1.
Yeah, so I mean he had the 405s. 405s right now are trading at, $500 a piece, right? So let's say they weren't that expensive. I bought 405s. Let's see what I paid for them. I bought 405s. But I was in a little earlier than him. But I mean I was in at 330, right? So 330 I was in it. And these things right now are trading at 500. So you're up $170 a contract on one. 170 on one. He had 4 of them. He had 4 of them. That was a $500 trade. But it shook him out. And again, I don't blame him. I don't blame him. He was down $500. I don't blame him. But it's so like this is what I've understood over the years, and this is what, once you understand this, it'll make a lot more sense. So you were down 500. Did you get out because the chart told you to get out, or did you get out because you were down too much, right? Like, but like in that particular case, you have to. I mean, I don't know. It's tough because I see it from both sides. Like my point of view is like this. If I'm going to be a hard ass, you got in way too fucking late. You missed a 413. I missed 413. You know, here's my hand raised. Teacher, I missed 413. I missed 413, but I seen the 410 first hour low break. So as soon as I seen that, I already know that I'm jumping out, not of the first floor. I'm probably jumping out of the third or fourth floor. So let me get in here. And if I get some type of significant, you know, close over the 20 after my entry, I'm going to have to get the hell out of this thing. But why are we in at 407, right? Pre-market lows. But what about the first two? What about the first two setups, right? Okay. So you have to, like the way that you have to look at it as, even though you're in at 407 and it bounced to 412, in that particular scenario, you're still in the original move that people are in from 413 at 407. So where's their stop loss, right? So where's their stop loss? So that original 20 play off the bell, 645, their original stop loss would have been a close over the 200 over that reason why candle. That's 416. Those people are going to take a $3 hit. Okay, that's the first story. If you want to tighten that up, let's give it a close over 414.80. So now you're in it for a $1.84, which is not shit on a stock that trades in a $15 range on a day. So a $1.84, you're in it if it closes over the 20. Just because you got in at 407 does not mean that your stop loss is magically somewhere different. The original play was there. That was the original play. So there's nothing else that you can do as far as trying to tighten up the stop loss as it like anymore, because if you tighten your stop, right? If you tighten your stop up, well, you're getting out of an active move that can still go down to that potential, which potential was 403. That was the first thing I told him. Our potential is 403. Through 405 is going to go to 403. Why? Because it's August lows. Like, it's the last spot before this thing dives off of a cliff, right? It dives off of a cliff after below 403. So how can we justify getting out at 412 when it bounced? So, you know, so if I ask him, why did you get out? The answer is going to be because I was down $600. But at that point, are we playing our P&L or are we playing the charts? So,
yeah, that's trading,
that's a
right? Big pullback.
Oh yeah, that's a huge pullback. It's a huge pullback. So think about this, but it's a huge pullback for him at 407, but it's not even a pullback for someone who was in on a 20 play.
What you're saying that if you do that, if you're in late, you better just be playing one contract. Forget about four.
Exactly. So the same thing for futures, right? Because you trade futures, so I'll use this for an example for you. Let's say we're playing the NQ. Some of those NQ candles might be 10 points. Some of them might be 35 points, 40 points even. Oh, yeah. I've seen a 40-point candle, right? And it's a beautiful setup, and it's like, oh my God, but if my stop loss is going to be 40 points, can I go play? I can't. I'll use your sizing. Can I play 4 on a 40-point stop loss? Am I prepared to lose 40 points on 4 contracts? If that answer is no, go down to 3. Are you prepared to lose 40 points on this particular trade on 3 contracts? If the answer is no, you have to ask yourself again, am I okay with 2? If the answer is no, am I okay with 1? If you're not okay with 1, then I don't care how good the setup looks, you can't even take the trade. Get it? So, right. So your position sizing, that's why, like, for me, when I tell people, especially guys, you know, I've been doing this for like trying to, you know, trade with traders for a long time now, 3-4 years. I tell them on the option side of things, if you are not prepared to lose what the chart is, because my stops are dynamic, we can catch 4 or 5 points. I mean, like if I'm completely honest, the main strategy that I teach for free, you don't even have to do nothing. Just go to YouTube. What do we do? Close over the 20, under the 20. Use a fucking 1 bar stop, or close over the 20. if you're trading NVIDIA, you should have been all over this thing at 413. I don't give a shit what pre-market is. I don't care. All you need to know is what's our next macro demand. That 403? Okay, 413 to 403, that's a hell of a range there. I can at least take a few bucks off this thing if it does decide to go, which you would have took a few bucks off this thing and made it a beautiful trade. There's nothing else to look at, right? So again, 413 was your fucking level through the 20 SMA. Why are we getting it at 407? That's mistake number one. What do I also teach inside here? Let's look at those first hour lows. Let's look at those first hour highs. How much room from there do we have? That's the trade I got into. Wish I would have got in at 413. I didn't. I'm not perfect. So I got in at 410. Okay, how much room does 410 have? To 405, then 403. That's still enough room for me to make money. I'm okay with the risk. If this stupid son of a bitch gets back over the 20 SMA on a 5, I'll lose a couple bucks on it. Because you know why? NVIDIA's paid me more than a couple bucks. They've paid me more than a couple bucks. So I'm okay with the risk. So I'll go ahead and put my size on. So sizing and what trades you're going to take all comes down to how much risk is involved. Very simple. We should know automatically how much risk is involved in the trade before we even get into the trade. So for example, I'm going to do mine on the first hour low break. So if I was to put this line here on this first hour low, okay, so if I put this little stupid line here, so I could go to my 5-minute chart and see, gosh darn it. Okay, so here's the first hour low. So now let's come over to the 5-minute time frame. Okay, 5-minute time frame. Let me look at it on this chart. So here's the 5-minute view. Are you looking at my screen or no?
Yeah, on YouTube.
Yeah, okay. So let me just, we're gonna look at the little chart, right? Because it's got less crap on it. I like to look at that chart with less crap on it than the other one. I used to use the other one for my big levels on the hourly and daily. So this like this. Okay. So this line 410, right? 410, because I think I put it in Discord too, right? Like, let me see here. $703, NVIDIA 410 into 406. If confirms anything below 406 could flush. Okay. So at 703 is here, this candle, right? 7 o'clock candle to 705 is this candle here. This one, I'm going to put a fucking line on it. So this candle is when I'm saying 410, right? 410, anything below 410 has room to 406. Anything below 406 could flush. Okay. So if I'm looking at this candle, right, I can only call out these plays when I see them. It's not like I know fucking weeks in advance when it's going to happen. So as soon as I see this start to form, I see we have this low here at 410. I know that's the first hour candle's low, right? So I've already got that level marked mentally in my head. So on this candle here at 7 a.m., from 7 a.m. to 7:05, at 7:03, I said, guys, 410 could flush, right? To 406, anything below can go. So what happens at 7:05? 7:05, it breaks 410. I'm all in, right? So as soon as it breaks, I'm going to get in, goes from 410 all the way down to 406. What the hell did I say? I'm not a freaking mind reader here. You know, it's like 410 to 406 could flush. So anything below 406 can flush. So 410 to 406, anything below 406 can flush. So we break 410, it goes right down to 406, and it's literally 406.50s. 406.50s, I sell 70% size because I'm in at 410, 409 by the time I'm filled, right? So 409 to 407 is $2. On 10 contracts, I'm making money that fast. 5-10 minutes, I'm making money. So I sell. Now my runners, guess what happens to my runners? They get stuck in that pullback, right? They get stuck in that pullback. There's my runners. Oh, they're back to break even. Oh, I'm going to get stopped out. But I'm not stressing because one, I took profits. Let's say I didn't take profits, right? I'm going to talk as Joe Schmo. I got in at 410. I didn't sell. I thought it was going lower. I'm in the pullback now. But what's our original stop from this play? Putt, what do you think? What's our original stop?
I want to say the break candle of 410 there, what you're on
So
the top of that.
Okay, so our stop loss is going to be any close over 412, right? 412.80, or a close over the 20 SMA. Well, we come pretty damn close. You see how they do that? Like you see how sometimes they do that almost perfectly, and this is how they play on emotions. You know, I don't know. There is no they. I'm just saying, talking. You know, there is no man in a mask out there like hunting your fucking entries. But you see how the technical analysis, you know, how the charts, the price action comes right back to these breakout spots sometimes where it triggers an emotional reaction. Anyone who got short below 410 and didn't take profits is feeling an emotional wreckage as this comes back and they see all their gains go away and starts to go red, and it gets you to sell right at that last minute. But regardless, our stop loss is a close over the 20 regardless. If we close over the 20, what would I be looking at that point? Over 412.86, I will look at the big chart. Okay, so over 412.86, where the fuck is it at on this chart? Where's it at on this chart? Over 412.86, had room to 414. So where's 414 on this little baby chart? It's this 200 SMA, give or take, right at that time. 414, 415. So let's say you don't stop yourself out here over the 20 and you say, no, I believe in this play. Your last stop's got to be way up here, right? I mean, you're going to go down $5 on the trade. Okay, that's fine. But the point I'm making is that this guy's play here, right? I'm going to draw another line here. The guy who's in here on this 20 SMA play, his stop is a close over the 20 or one bar. This guy here, aka me, getting in through the first hour lows, my stop is where? A close over my one bar stop or a confirmation over the 20 SMA. Both of these wick over the 20 SMA. Yes, they do not close over the 20 SMA. And that's a fact, because if it closed over the 20 SMA, you would see one of these stupid little arrows that I have on here be right under this green candle here. So for anyone that's on YouTube who wants to look and say, well, I think it closed, it bullshit, it did. So again, even if it did putts, you want to know my mentality, even if there was a little green arrow here telling me, hey buddy, this candlestick closed over your 20 SMA, I'm going to look at my reason why candle and I'm going to say, what's 412.80s to 413? You know, let me just give this 20 more cents. They really taking me out? Okay, I'll because at that point I'm already going to be down anyway. So like I'll just give them that. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. And sure as shit, gets rejected, comes right down through 406, could flush. Talk about a flush all the way down to 402. You see how that works? So again, if you didn't take this play and you didn't take this play, but you took the pre-market low break, look at our boy poor Penguin. This is the candle he took right here, but this one, 720, 407s and a quarter. The next fucking move is a fucking nasty one. Then it goes sideways. Then at this point, I remember him saying, I'm almost at break even. I'm only down $100 or 3% or whatever. Okay. Never takes out the lows. Bounces. Boom. Right into rejection. So that's a hard stomach. You're way down here. So for one thing, this play, he had his eyes on the right chart. Bad fucking timing. Okay. But even if it's bad timing, you cannot play your max size. I don't care if your max size is 4 contracts or your max size is 40 contracts or 400. You cannot play max size down 10 stories. up 10 stories, right? Like you can't do that. So if you're going to take it still, because you still believe in that, once we broke that, that 410 area, that we had room to come down to 405 or 403, where's your stop? Your stop's got to be the 20, because it's my stop. It's this guy's stop. So why would your stop be any different? You want a shittier entry, but you want a better stop than us up here? You see how that works? So how, like, that's the thing. How can someone, and I'm just using him as an example because it happened today, but how can someone with a worse entry than me or this guy have a better stop loss than us? It's impossible, right? Your stop, just because you're in down here, just because I'm in down here, does not mean that I get a better stop loss than this guy. Our stop loss is a close over the 20. And that's how years ago this 20 SMA play originated. Because I used to play it, right? But I used to play the big chart only. But what I would notice is, where am I going to set up a best potential stop? Where's a best potential stop, right? And I would use the 5, and I was like, it works good for in a trending market. I used to use the 9. I used to use the 10. I used to look at all these different things. Like, where can I put my stop? I used to look at individual candlesticks. But the 20 SMA is definitely played by institutions. I'm not going to get into a big fucking discussion about, what do institutions trade and all this bullshit. I've talked to people who have actually worked on the street. You want to know what makes a good trader, but you want to know what they told me? How you're a good trader? You want to know what they told me?
Yeah.
This is what they told me, right? And this guy worked on the street where he ran a prop firm, a real prop firm. None of this bullshit that we're playing, putts, but a real prop firm, right? And he ran a couple of these things. He said this over 22 years. He said, nobody knows where the fuck these things are going. Not even us who are trading millions of dollars. We were, obviously it's not my millions of dollars, but it's the fund, right? We're trading fund capital. We have no idea where these are going. But you want to know what we do know? What we do know is that a lot of these moving averages, right? They're delayed, but a lot of these moving averages tend to have some sort of emotional reaction, right? The biggest ones that everyone kind of knows about, the 50, the 200, the 20. 50, 200, 20. There's an emotional reaction at each one of those levels, okay? So as he started to say that, I started to add in all these different moving averages, right? I added on all these moving averages, and I started to really fucking backtest and look at, what's going on at these moving averages. Like, yeah, do they break down through them? Do they wick over and under them? Yes, but you get true reactions at certain ones a lot more than others in different market cycles. We always get reactions off the 200, always get reactions off the 50, and always get reactions on the 20. So if I'm going to be day trading, right? 'Cause I'm not swing trading. Like sometimes I might not ever get a setup through. Like imagine if I was saying, hey, let's play 20 play through, the 200. Sometimes we never even get it to touch the 200 all fucking day. But the 20 gets tested a lot, at least 2 or 3 times in a day. At least 2 or 3 times in a day. So how I came up with just a plain old 20 SMA strategy was, when I would get into these plays, putts, for example, a loss of a previous day low, or a loss of pre-market low, or a loss of the first hour opening range low, I would look at the 20 as my nearest term sentiment for the short term trend. So if we're below the 20, momentum is definitely to the downside. I don't care how much it bounces. The trend is still down until we get over the 20 SMA. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So that's how just using a simple scalping strategy of just the 20, even if you just had a 20 on your chart altogether, you can use it, but you really don't know where you should be taking profits. All it's really going to give you is a clear entry, and then you're on your own to take your profits. That's why I say it's a scalping strategy, because if you're just going to play the 20 like that, you have no idea that this was going to stop at 406. You had no idea that it's going to go to 402, correct? Right? If you're just looking at a 20, you have no idea. But if you treat it as a scalping strategy, then yes, it'll give you a good entry. It'll give you a hard out. Any close above the 20, you're out. Any loss of the 20 with a confirmation, you're in. So it gives you clear entries and a clear exit. It just doesn't give you potential. Where could this stop? And potentially over the 20, where's the next supply zone? It doesn't give you none of that, but it's a good little scalping strategy. Like, you can use it and you can make money on it, even if you don't know the other factors. But that's why, like, I have to teach the whole factors for everyone on the inside. Use these other moving averages so you can see. But the point I'm making, and it's getting long-winded, what he told me, no one knows where the fuck these things are going, right? Do we have some kind of idea based on where we're at on the daily chart? Of course, right? We got a little bit of an idea, right? So do we, right? Like, it's like, and when he says we, he's not like in some secret Illuminati shit. It's just we as traders know that, are we over or under the 50 SMA? Are we over or under our 200 on a daily chart, right? It starts with the daily. Starts with the daily for day trading. For swing trading, starts with the weekly. But for the daily, for day trading, it starts with the daily chart. Where are we at on the daily chart? What's the bias for the day, right? So technically, if I just ask you, Putz, what's the bias for today off of yesterday's close? What should have been the bias?
Down.
Down. It's plain and simple. Now, these little dead cat bounces that we get here, can you make money? Sure. But they're tricky. Like, you're going to get stopped out. The overall bias is down. So we can pretty much just ignore the bounces if the day's bias is down. Let's ignore the bounces. Let's play the rejections. How about that? Because look at NVIDIA, since it's still on my screen. Previous bounce, rejected at the 20, flush. Bounce into the 20, flush. Right? So it's like the day's bias is down. Okay. So if no one really knows where this is going on a day in and day out basis, other than our directional bias from the daily, let's find a strategy. Let's build a strategy. Let's build an edge. There's millions of them out there, right? Mine's not the only one. You can use fucking VWAP if you want. Like, there's guys playing just RSI and fucking MACD. I don't know nothing about none of that crap. What I'm saying is there's a million strategies out there. They all work. How well do you work your strategy? And the one thing that stood out to me that he said is, it's not about knowing where the stock's going. It's not about your strategy. Has nothing to do with that. What makes a good trader consistent and profitable year over year, quarter over quarter, month over month, in when you play with big money, how well do you manage your risk? One thing. How well do you manage it? Are you a bozo who's going to over leverage when nobody knows where the stock is going? Just because we have a good setup, there was no one saying that once I broke 410, I needed to go to 406. No one said that. I had an idea, but that's all it is. It's an idea. It's like it's like assholes. Everyone's got one, right? My opinion means nothing. Yes, my analysis is telling me 410 to 406. It didn't have to do that at all. It could have went down to 409 and came right back up. So how well do you manage risk? And how well do you execute your strategy? That's what makes a good trader. Has nothing to do with what is your strategy. Has nothing to do with market makers. You know what he told me one time? He told me one time too, because I talk to this guy all the time. He's a family friend of ours. So I see him on a lot of family functions. But I say, hey, what do you think about all these people on social media that talk about, market makers and these dark pool orders and liquidity block areas and shit like that and all this weird, strange shit, that stuff that I've never heard of. He starts laughing, Putz. He starts laughing. He says, what the hell's a dark pool? He's like, what the hell is a liquidity block? He's like, this is all just made up crap. It's just made up crap. He's like, the whole fucking chart system is it's just made up. It's just candlesticks built on price action. What does price action do when it hits a specific level? You can take everything off your charts. Have you ever seen those people that say, take everything off your charts, all this fucking spaghetti shit, do this and that, just draw your lines? They're drawing just as many fucking lines in trend lines and blocks and zones all over the fucking place as it is. You're just doing it by hand. I'm not doing it at all because it's already there for me on the charts. I can sit here and draw out all these zones and, resistance up here and resistance here and support here. And look, you can still see my green box on the video here. Like, I can do that. But it's doesn't mean anything. So what he said, what he basically says, what I took away, no one knows where the stock's going once you get in it, right? How well do you manage risk? How well do you manage your strategy? How well do you operate it? Because here's the question that arises. and this is for, there's a few people here listening on YouTube. How well do you understand your strategy? I don't care what strategy you're using. It doesn't have to be mine. It doesn't have to be someone else's. It can be yours. Everyone tailors their own strategy. For example, even in this room, Biggs, you've had plenty of conversations with them, traded with them. I taught him how to trade using this big chart. He plays shorting tops and buying bottoms better than me tenfold. You know why? Because he looks for them and he's perfected them, and it's a clear out for him, and it's clear. So it's my strategy, big chart, tailored to him, right? Tailored to him. He will pick out these tops and bottoms better than I will ever do it. You know why, Putz? Because I don't look for them like that. I'm looking for mainly daily chart bias channels. What's our previous day high low? First hour chart high low. I'm looking for that. And then from there, I'm using my chart to see which stocks have the best potential that are worth it for me to take a trade. Okay. Then to kind of go a little bit more in depth, then I'll use the 20 SMA on the 5-minute to correlate with what I'm looking at. So if I'm breaking down, Puds, if I'm breaking down a previous day's high or low, or I'm confirming a first hour high or low opening range, and that's correlating with a 20 play, Puds, that's active, oh, I'm all in. And my stop will also always be, my hard stop is also always this fucking 20 SMA. It's always, like when I'm in a trade, it's always a 20 SMA. It'll never get away from that. That's what I look for. I'm comfortable with that risk. Now, I also have told people, use the 5, use the 10 to trail your stop. That tightens up that stop from the 20, and it works really well when you're profitable. Like when you're green and you're green and you're green and you're green, and that little fucking 5 SMA is trailing, and you want to kind of maximize those profits, cool. You get a green candle to close over the 5 SMA, take your profits, move on. You're done for the day. Now, when you're barely getting into the trade, the 20 is going to be your best bet, because you can get in, it closes right back over the 5, and you're thinking, should I get out? No, you can only use the 5 or the 10-day moving average when you're green, when you're profitable. Right. But it starts with the 20. It starts with the 20. It's got to go from the 20 to the 10 to the 5. Now, the only reason we're breaking down lows on this NVIDIA, it's 402, Putz. It's 402. I'm
an ES short.
Are you an ES short? Fuck, I should pick. How late am I to that party?
Kind of late.
Am I late? Let me see here.
I've just got 2 micros and gonna trail my stop and see if it runs out for a long time.
Damn it! Look at the damn NASDAQ down 300 again. Holy shit!
I was in actually kind of late myself.
Are you?
I was at 67.50 on the ES. I'm just kind of trailing my stop down.
Yeah,
I don't want to. I'm up. I don't want to give back.
How much are you up?
In this trade, $1.20.
There you go.
But
there you
like I
go.
said, I got my trail way back. So
yeah. Move that trail way into profit at this point. Way into profit. NVIDIA's 401 Putz.
I got it at 257.50. Yeah, I moved it down to 10 points.
There you go.
In profit. See if we can stay under that.
Oh, this guy's gonna be so pissed, dude. I don't even think I'm gonna post the gains, dude. Well, Putz, I'm still holding one. I'm still holding one.
I was gonna say, you had some runners you held, right?
Yeah, I held 3 and I sold on the last dip, and then I still have 1, and I just checked it right now. I'm not even gonna post that. because that's like I'm not into that. Like that's another thing too. Like, that's why I don't really like the whole fucking social media thing. I don't get me wrong, I can talk till my fucking face is blue, and I like this teaching shit, and like because I figure, man, if I can do it, like anyone can do it, right? Like I didn't go to school for none of this crap. Like I'm just a regular fucking dude, you know. But if I can do it, like anyone can do it, and it pumps me up because obviously too, like I've made so much money in trades off of my cousin Andre when he sees something. I've made money off Biggs. I've made money off all these guys, and they've done the same for me too as well. And that's the whole thing. Like when you're at a firm, right? If you're at like a real big time firm, you think those guys are just sitting there in a cubicle by themselves, not talking to no one. They got the whole room, a whole group of eyes on specific levels and charts and looking at plays. So it helps, right? It helps when other people are looking at things. Maybe you don't see it, maybe you do see it, you know, and they can put your eyes on it. That's the beauty of it, right? So the more guys that I can get that are gonna help benefit the room, everyone's gonna make more money, right?
Yeah, there's too much to look at. Like that snow trade a week ago or so.
I didn't even know anything about it. Biggs told me about it. I think I just looked at the chart and this looks good, jumped right in and made a quick on that. That was a quick trade. And that's what I'm saying. That's the benefit. Because I will trust that guy with trading my account, right? Like I'll trust that guy trading my account. I'll trust my cousin Andre trading my account. There's some guys in this room. Some of these guys have left me high and dry. Putts, they've made money and they just do this shit on their own. But that's the goal, right? You want to do it on your own. But like I would trust, there's quite a handful of guys I would trust to trade my account, meaning that I have full confidence that what they see is the same as me. It's like not like my thought process is going to be any different than anyone else's thought process. It has to like if it's on the charts, like there's no getting away from it. What is the charts telling you to do? Can you do that? So it goes back to my point with what the guy who taught me. How well do you execute your strategy? How well do you execute it? Right? Because we don't control what the stock is doing, what the price action is doing once we're in it. We have no control over it. But how well do you execute on your strategy? How well? How are you ignoring? Like if I ignored the first hour low break on Nvidia, if I ignored it and then I got in at 407, how well am I following my strategy, my edge? Not well at all, right? I missed it by $3. Well, like I wouldn't even take it at that point in time. You know, like I'd be sitting here steaming that this thing's trading at 401. How well do you manage your strategy and how well do you manage your risk? You know, how well do you manage your risk? So managing your risk comes down to, well, how big is the potential stop loss going to be if this thing gets sideways? So how many contracts can you play? This goes for options guys and futures guys. How many options or how many contracts can you play based on the risk, right? So if we're talking futures and we've got a 12, 15, 16 point candle on the NQ, I'm full size. I'm what my full size is. If it's 25 points, maybe I'm half size. If it's anything over 30 points, I probably am only going to play one contract. Am I going to make less money? Sure. But you bet your ass I'm not going to lose full size on a 40 candle stop loss. I'm not doing something stupid like that. You know, like I'm not looking at an NQ chart and this is a beautiful setup. I'm going to go ahead and take 5 fucking contracts. And then this, because again, do we know that the trade's going to work out? Of course not. It's all probabilities. It's like roulette. It's either going to be red or black, right, Putts? I mean, it's not like or green. There's an oddball. But what I'm saying is we don't know, right? Like, so your luck is 50-50 or 38% or whatever if you count in the green on roulette. So if you really look at it, the same thing with trading, you have no idea which 20 play is going to work. You have no idea which confirmation over a previous day high or low channel is going to work. You have no idea which first hour opening range high or low break with potential is going to work. We have no idea. It's all an open probability. It's an open probability. So the main thing is size yourself accordingly because we have no idea which one's going to work, which one's going to fail. Today, the Nvidia one legitimately has went from a price of 413 to 401. With one area in the day were 25 minutes of draw, like of pullback. That wouldn't even have put you at your perfect entry into any drawdown at all. It would have maybe been break even at best. Maybe. So manage your risk, and how well do you execute your strategy? How well do you get out when it closes over the 20? Or are you getting out, you cutting bait early? Because if you're cutting bait early, guess what you're doing? You're shooting yourself right at the fucking kneecaps. You're shooting yourself at the kneecaps. Because if you're stopping yourself out, I'm still using the video as the example. If you're stopping yourself out, but we haven't even closed over the 20, you just shot yourself in the kneecaps. Why'd you do that? Because I was down too much. How well are you managing risk? Those two questions I could ask. Like, I could grill the fuck out of someone, Putz. Like, I should fucking be hiring new traders on fucking Wall Street, right? How well do you understand your strategy? How well are you going to manage the risk? That's all it is to it. Because, you know, like, Putz, if I was running a firm, which I'm going to get pretty close to this, it's not going to be a firm, but I am going to start a private I got my guy actually on the paperwork, but it's not a firm because I'm not licensed, but it's going to be like a private equity type of deal with some close people that I know. But what I'm saying is, if I'm going to have traders trading capital and they did not take this NVIDIA short, they're fucking fired. Like, if you didn't take the NVIDIA short on the 20 play or the loss of 410, you're fucking gone. Because why? This is what we're looking for. And if you cut bait on me, let's say even this, Putz, you took some cash from 410 to 407, and then you broke even on half position size, and we pretty much scratch traded on the whole thing, but we never closed over 20, you're fucking gone too. Because that's not what our edge is telling us to do. We were already prepared to lose, and we understood what we were going to lose. So why would we cut bait early now when the trade has started to go in our favor? That's it. How well do you work your strategy, and how well are you managing risk?
Yeah, it seems like you just, from my perspective, is, you know, like you said, when you're about to get in, look where the 20 is, or your max pain, whatever you want to call it.
Yep.
And that's, you know, X amount away.
Yep.
And if I have one contract, like you were telling me, you know, if you normally have 4, can you handle that? No. Okay. Can you have, 3, 2, 1?
Yep. Just go through. What's your normal size? If your normal size is 4, for you on the futures, because options are a little bit different. For you on the futures, your max pain is that reason why candle's high. So let's say, for example, on the ES, it's 5 points. Can you handle a 5-point loss? Can you handle a 5-point loss on 4? If the answer is yes, then go in on 4. If it's 7 or 8 points, can you handle a 7 or 8 point loss on 4? If the answer is no, go down to 3. And it's just a quick mental, like, okay, more or less, how much am I going to lose on this trade? How much am I going to lose on this trade? Okay, I can't play 4. I can only play 2. I'll play 2 on this trade, because you're already expecting to lose you're already expecting to lose whatever your max pain is. So when you get into the trade, so like for me on the NVIDIA, I'm in here at 410, right? So the 410, I know that I'm going to lose $3. I'm going to lose $3 on this trade. Anyone who says, oh, $3 is too much, then don't play fucking NVIDIA stock. This thing moves $20 in a day. Don't play it. Don't play it.
Yeah, that's kind of the other thing too. You need to find an instrument that you can handle,
Exactly.
500 per contract or more might not be the place.
Exactly. Let's go play AMD, right? So if we look at AMD's,
right.
We look at AMD's range on a daily, we're looking at a 3.80 cents, $3.80 range on AMD. Okay. We look at NVIDIA. It's a 16-point range, Putz.
Well, I was thinking more of the contract size, find something where, you can lose one comfortably. You know what I mean? Instead of $500 in the Nvidia, so you don't want to lose $500.
Exactly.
Go somewhere else where it's like 150 a contract.
Exactly. And at that point, you can take like, if you don't want to play Nvidia because they're $500 a contract, then play AMD. There might be like $200 a contract, and the range is 5 times less. Because if
Or SPY or the Qs, those are smaller.
Or the SPY or the Qs, right? So you find something that you can trade, right? If you can't trade Tesla and you can't trade Nvidia, again, I get why people want to trade them. I get it. I mean, you can make a lot of money, but can you even withstand those pullbacks? Because the pullback putts on Nvidia is AMD, and I'm just using it because it's another semi, is AMD's entire fucking day's range.
Right.
But a pullback, or a little bit of a bounce, right? Depending if we're long or short, is $3. Your stop loss can be $3 on Nvidia. And technically, if you can't handle that, then go play AMD, where that's like, if I look at, for example, 5-minute chart, the average range on Nvidia is $1.80 on a 5-minute. Okay, on the 1 hour, it's $5. Okay, so take the two, $5 and $1.80, split it in half. Let's call it $3, right? So a $3 range is what you can lose on Nvidia in one particular trade if this bastard gets away from you. And based on the play that I was going to take today, I just said it 2 minutes ago, I was prepared to lose $3 on the thing. And I didn't even look at the ATR yet. But I just play it enough to where I know like that's the range. But if you talk about AMD as an example, well, AMD's range is $1.13 on the hourly, and it's 40 cents on the 5-minute. So we might lose 75 cents a trade here, right? Maybe 80 cents. So if you don't want to lose $3 on a trade on Nvidia, go play AMD. You're going to lose like 80 cents. That's how you do it. And then from there, you do the same question. If I was to get in on this AMD play and it fails because we don't know which ones are going to work or not, am I prepared to lose 75 cents to $1 on AMD at 5 contracts? No. Okay. I do the same thing. 4. Okay. No. 3. Okay. Okay. I'll trade 2 contracts. And there it is. In the 2 contracts on AMD, like even if I look at something right now, I'm not saying nothing setting up on AMD, but if I was to just pull up a contract, on AMD right now, in the money, puts is $2. So we're looking at $200. That's at 93, so that's in the money. If we go at the money at 94, it's $1.45. Puts $1.45.
Yep.
So even if we lost, what is that contract going to be down? 30, 40%? What's 30, 40% of 145? Maybe $50, $60 max. So how much can you afford to lose? You willing to lose $60? That's 1 contract. You willing to lose $120? That's 2. You willing to lose $180? That's 3 contracts. Okay, I don't want to lose more than $300 or $200 on a particular play. Then your max size on AMD is 3 contracts. Let's ride. Let's go. Let's find our setups all day long. How many trades? And then it goes on and on and on. What's your account size? How many times can you lose $200? Right? How many times can you lose $200? Well, I only have $1,000 account. Well, you better be prepared to get on a hot streak because you ain't going to be in this game too long, right? So, and that's the way you figure out what your position sizing is. And then it comes down to how well do you manage your strategy. Once that clicks for people, it's a game changer. It's a game changer because then from there, you can make money out of these markets at fucking will. At will. Because you already know, AMD as an example, your max loss on your size is going to be anywhere from $100 to $200 max. And your winners are going to be around the same. $100 here, $120 there, $140 here. That's what it is. That's the name of the game. Sometimes you catch those ones that just go all day, i.e. fucking, for example, fucking Nvidia
Yesterday.
yesterday, right? Last Friday ran all day, like, or ran for the whole time. So yeah, I mean, you catch those. That's what makes a trader's quarter. That's what makes their month, is those one day here, one day there. The other bullshit is just little cash here, little cash there, little cash here, little cash there. What allows you to catch those big days goes back to the two rules. How well do you follow your strategy? Should you have gotten out? A lot of the times it's no. A lot of the times it's no. You should have not gotten out of the trade. You shot yourself in the kneecap. You took $100. End of the day, if you would have just held it because it was still below the 20, you would have made $400 on it. That's it.
Yeah, I'm at 180 on my eval, so I think I'm not gonna fuck with it anymore.
Oh yeah, you're good on that. You're good on that. So what are you actually up on the whole thing now?
Well, I'm shit.
Still down?
3 of the 4. I'm still haven't gotten to 51,000. So I'm at 53, 51, 51, and 51 even.
Okay, and it's still 3,000, right, for Apex on the 50Ks?
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe about 30% to that goal. I don't know. Maybe
Not even.
No, 20%. You're
Like I said, 3 of them I'm at 50,100 ish.
Oh shit.
And then one of them I'm at 51,000 even. So that one is.
That one is, yeah, that one is. Man, even
that one was because of that one day.
Yeah.
I thought the trade copier closed everything, but had that one runner.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well.
So, like I said, we'll see. The next few days will normally, and then closer to when I'm going to renew, we can go balls out a little more.
Yeah. Yeah. Or even you can, even choose one of those ones that's way down there, and even just play one yes.
Oh, I got you.
Like just choose one of those ones that's way down there, anyways, and then just see if you can grow that thing. And if it blows in the process, oh well, it's $18, but
right.
That way we can get you up there. Because I look at it like this, you got four of them, right? Even if you lose 2, but you pass one, if you lose 2, don't pass 1, and you pass 1, at least you got 1, right? And now you're good to go. That's how I would look at it. It'd be great to pass them all, of course, but we gotta get the 1 first. So however we can do the 1. That's where we really want to start, because once we do that 1, then you can just sit there and slow pick this thing until you get that payout, and then that pays for everything that you already lost, plus adds more to your shit. Like now you can go really out there and go buy some more and start trying to do it. That's what I'm doing right now. I got like 2 of them that I'm like really playing aggressive, and then I got 2 of them I'm just playing very small size. I got 5 evals right now. I'm probably gonna take this up to 10 by tomorrow, and I have full intentions of probably blowing half of them, to be honest. But
Gotcha.
I look at it as, even if I blow half of them playing aggressive, what am I down? $18 times 5, $80. What is that? So. But if I can manage to pass 2 or 3 of them, now I'm golden, because at that point, I will get my money back on those. I'll get the $80. I'll get that in one payout. Even if the payout is $500, I'll get my money back. Plus 400. Right. So that's the thing with the prop firms. Once you do get funded, take as much time as you need. Get that money back. In the beginning, just have a set amount of money that you're willing to lose. We're down at 400 putts on this Nvidia.
I just looked at that. You're still going.
Oh yeah, I'm going to be out of here now. It's time for a cup of coffee. I'm not trying to squeeze no more water out of this rock. And that's another thing too. I mean, like I would say, like this is a home run trade. didn't have to get all the way down here. But I mean, again, like I've been sitting on this thing for days now, for days. And that 410 level was a big level, 410, 409. NVIDIA's first stop now is 392. That'll be the next stop. Any bounce. You know what I would love? Give us a nice dead cat bounce tomorrow, and then wash us out on Monday, and I'm gonna play this right into 392. I would prefer that. Set it up. And that's also what I kind of realized too with like more inexperienced traders is like they see this be down for 2 days. Tomorrow might be green, and they're gonna get so happy. Everyone goes long, and then they get shut out on Monday. This chart is broken. It's below everything. There's nothing here on it. It's coming down to 390s. It's coming down to 390s, and God forbid it loses 390s. It's coming down to 360s. You know, but I could see a nice little dead cat bounce from 390s. And the thing with NVIDIA, I mean, this shit trades $16, $15 in a day. It might only be a day away before we're down there. The way this thing goes. So.
Yeah, my ES got stopped out for 10 points.
Oh, there you go.
So, which is a lot for ES.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. See, because even like if I think too, like on one of your evals, because you're kind of are you copy trading all of them?
Yeah.
I would definitely take one. I would definitely take one of those, right? I would take one of those, and I would truly play it. Maybe you don't have to go the full 4 normal size. You know, kind of depending on what your risk level is. But if you do like maybe 2, right? 2 contracts, but you really set it up to just let it ride, just let it go to actual stop loss, or just hold it to where maybe it's midday, end of day, and you're coming back and selling it. The last 20 play on ES short was an 8-point stop loss. And it went from 41.82 to 41.50, 53. That's 30 points.
Yeah.
Never closed above the 20. You know? And if you start getting really technical, you can because I can see, like, I've explained this to people, and they've said, well, yeah, but the last 20 play long would have been stopped out. What's the day's bias? Short. So ignore the longs. Stick with the shorts. Ignore the longs. Stick with the shorts. What about if a dead cat bounces all day? Come back tomorrow, because you're going to have a better short position tomorrow. That's how you play it. So if you would have ignored any long play today and just stuck with the shorts, the first short that set up at 645 went from 41.90 all the way down to 41.74. That's 15 points there, and this was a 25 plus point move here. Technically, someone could have took out, I'm not going to say the whole thing, but you know, let's say 30 points between the 2 plays, 15 and 15. Or just really fucking let this thing go, you know? It really only puts you, the last 20 play really only puts you into drawdown from 41.82 to 41.88. It puts you into drawdown 6 points. So on 2 contracts, what would have been the damage there? That emotional damage at 6 points on 2 contracts.
So that'd be $10 a point for 2.
Mm-hmm.
So $80 or whatever.
$80. $80. So that's like, I also backtest a lot, and these herbs on freaking YouTube always say weird shit too, like, oh, it's easy to see in hindsight. Yeah, but you gotta look at things in hindsight, because I want to mentally play that out. If I was in on that short play on the true what was that emotional pain for me? $80? Ah, okay, I can stomach $80. Okay. Then it gives you confidence. I would have been down $80 and then I would have made fucking 300 on the damn thing. You know? On 2 contracts. Or whatever it would be.
Yeah.
But that's why back testing is key. You know, go back to your your setup and actually look how much drawdown would you have been in, because yes, looking at it in hindsight, it looks like it just went down, you made 30 points. Now again, you have periods of 20-30 minutes where it's not doing anything. It's going up, down, up, down, up, down, sideways. Yes, you were in drawdown right off the gate, but how much was that initial drawdown right off the gate? Because that would have been the only stickiest part that you would have been in. $80? Okay. $80. So size it accordingly. But even on the ES, I don't think we really get any stops that are going to be over like 8-9 points, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Normal big candle.
I mean, yeah, like a big candle for the ES. I mean, if I just look at some of the biggest candles we have here.
Maybe 8 to 10 points.
Yeah, 8-10 points. So 42.03 to 41.90. This would actually the 635 candle was a 13-point candle. So yeah, I guess we could say 10 points. This next one, 42.03 down to 13 points. So I guess you could say, just based off today, the biggest stop loss that you would have had was 13 points.
So $130 on 2 micros.
Mm-hmm. So even look at the actually first setup at 645. If you would have used a 1 bar stop, reason why candle, you would have been in drawdown. Yes, you would have been in drawdown at one point in time from 41.90 all the way up to 4,200. So you would have been in drawdown 10 points at one point in time. You would have been profitable. You would have been in drawdown, and then you would have made a bunch of money from 41.90 putts down to 41.53. That's 40 points. So
yeah, you stuck with the reason why stop. Yeah,
if you stuck with the reason why, because again, like the only thing that really screws that up is like when you go into profit and you give it back, or you get into a trade and it's going right against you. That feels sticky. It feels hairy. But you also have to think back to the original setup. The original play, you were already willing to risk the 10 points. So why are we so concerned now? Later. You know, why would, like, if we went into the play at short at 645, we were willing to give up 10 points. So how come things get sticky once we're already in them? That's all emotional, right? Because when we got into the play, we were okay with giving it up.
Yeah, then you can just double down on the next reason why.
Exactly. Get back in again. So like, yeah, so if you had 2 and you sat through that, you were profitable, then you broke even, now we're working again, and now you tell yourself, holy shit, I got a new setup. How well do I follow my edge? Ask yourself that question. How well am I going to follow my edge today? Okay, my edge is giving me another one. Let's double down. Let's add 2 more. Boom. Now you had a whole total of 4 for the 30 points. That's how traders become good. How much risk are you prepared to lose? How well do you manage it? And how well do you follow your edge? I don't care what your edge is. You know, if you truly follow that,
Yeah, like you could have doubled down on your Nvidia.
I know. Yeah, I know. But I mean, I see the P&L over here. I see the P&L. I'm not gonna.
Who was it?
I'll leave something out there for other people. You know, just because sometimes I'll also tell myself too, like, that's not my money. Like that wasn't my money. Like I got in, I have a good emotional feeling about a certain dollar amount when I hit it on my account, to where it alleviates a lot of stress. And doing this shit for this long, I felt like I've had probably 5 heart attacks in the past 5 years. I don't want to have a real one, you know? And this fucking shit gets stressful. Slate on YouTube, the black lines on the 5-minute chart is the linear regression. Okay, linear regression on Thinkorswim. Again, if you do not have the Thinkorswim platform, I still have not figured out how to have the linear regression channel 50 on anyone else's platform. There's different variations of it on other platforms, but that have matched up this well, I haven't found it yet. So, like I tell my guys in my room, if make a Thinkorswim account and do your charting on Thinkorswim if you want to use this, and then execute on your other brokerage. I know it's a stupid way to trade, but some people use TradingView and chart on TradingView and execute somewhere else and link their accounts to TradingView. I don't know. Just that's how I do it. I don't really have a better answer than that. I know it's a shitty answer, but it's just called a linear regression channel 50. I'll pull it up right here. So it's linear reg for regression, ch for channel 50. That's it. Price on the close, upper, lower, middle. I don't really have any settings to change. It's pretty standard study, and that is what it is. It's been on my charts for like 6 years. That's about it, Putz. I'm gonna go get myself a cup of coffee, and then you know, you're pretty good on the day. I really wouldn't chase anything. Maybe start splitting those accounts up going into tomorrow. Play one mini on one, play one where you're doing 2 contracts and let it go. Just let it go as long as it is. As long as you're not stopped out, just sit in it. You know, you might be in this thing for 3 hours, but just play one like that, and then play the other 2 where you're scalping and see how that works. Especially in the evals.
I'll try that out tomorrow.
Yeah, especially when you're in evals. Maybe once you get to the funded stage and you have like 4 or 5 fundeds, you can kind of try to copy trade on whichever best kind of little edge is working for you. You know, is it scalping where you're having more success? Is it, you know, sizing down and just letting this SOB run? You know, which one is it? And then kind of stick to that. Because again, the last thing I'll leave with is, even though like we got the strategy, we have the charting here, we have the analysis and all this stuff, you know, you don't have to play them all. Like, you don't have to play like every 20 play, every first hour high break, every new low of daybreak. Find the one that you like, and then you just go all in on that one. Like, so like for me, it's the hourly charts. For me, it's the hourly chart, and finding the most amount of room, and then just managing that trade on the 5-minute with using that 20 SMA as a stop. For me, that's golden. For bigs, I know it's picking these high of day, low of day freaking reversals, or 20 plays that have a lot of room higher. I know that for him, that's great. You know, my cousin Andre likes the first hour low breaks, and then for futures, he likes the 20 SMAs, but he likes going heavy size, you know, which I'm trying to get him to go down on that. But yeah, so it's like, just find which one works for you the best on the emotional side of things, and then you just really look for that all day. That's all you're really looking for. Just looking for your one play and getting in, holding it. As long as you're
All right,
below
cool.
stop loss. All right, buddy. I'll catch
Thanks,
up with
Pete.
you later. Yep.